Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am CA Pritish Burton Desa and today we are going to talk about a very important topic when it comes to investments, that is about mutual funds. Nowadays everybody invests in mutual funds without even knowing what is a mutual fund. In case if you are an investor in mutual fund just because someone else told you to invest, or in case if you want to invest in mutual funds, then you are at the right place. At the end of this video, I can guarantee you that you will be able to invest in mutual funds yourself without the help of anybody else. Yes, you heard that right. In this video, we are going to talk about what is a mutual fund, the various types of mutual funds, the various terms that are associated with mutual funds, and at the end, taxability, which most of the investors tend to ignore when it comes to your investments. So that is where my role as a chartered accountant comes into picture. I am going to explain to you all of these terms in very simple terms, which is going to help you to make a rational decision when it comes to your investments in mutual funds. So let us understand what is a mutual fund. Say you have money and you want to invest in the stock market, but you cannot do it because you do not have time, expertise and knowledge. So you go to an expert and that expert agrees to help you and he invests on your behalf because he has the knowledge and expertise to invest in the stock market. And he does not only for you but for many other people like you. He pools the funds from everybody into a common fund which is called the mutual fund. Of course, he does not do it for free. He charges a certain amount of money which is called the expense ratio in order to cover his fees and also the administrative and management expenses of the mutual fund. Now let us look into the various types of mutual funds. The first one is the equity mutual funds. In case of equity mutual funds, the asset management company or the mutual fund invests in the stock market or the shares of various companies. Here, the risk is higher, but the returns are also higher. In case if your appetite for risk is higher, then you can definitely go for equity mutual funds because you can expect higher returns. The second type of mutual fund is the debt fund. Here in this case, the asset management company or the mutual fund invests in the fixed income securities which are much safer, like the government bonds, debentures of various companies. In this case, the returns are also fixed or you can anticipate the returns, but the risk is also very less compared to the equity mutual fund. So if you are a safe player, then you can definitely invest in a debt fund. The third type is the hybrid or a balanced fund. In case of a hybrid fund, the name itself suggests that it is a mixture of the first two types, the equity and debt. Say for example, 60% is invested by the mutual fund company or the AMC in equity and the rest 40% is in debt. There are various other types of mutual funds as well based on your investment, that is large cap funds, small cap funds, mid cap funds, sectoral funds and income yielding funds, growth funds. So you may get confused with that. So in order to avoid that, I am going to make a separate video on how to choose a mutual fund which will give you a clear picture as to how to invest in a particular mutual fund. So let us keep that aside for now. Now you may ask me that whether I can invest in a particular mutual fund at any given point in time. So in order to understand that, you need to know further two types of mutual funds, that is based on the structure of mutual funds, that is open-ended scheme and a closed-ended scheme. In case of an open-ended scheme, you can invest at any point in time and also you can withdraw at any given point. There are no restrictions at all. But in case of a closed scheme, you cannot invest at any point. You can invest only when the NFO or the new fund offer is open for investment, and you can redeem or withdraw only after the fixed period. The next question is whether you can invest in mutual funds in lump sum or in fixed intervals. In case if you're a salaried person or in case if you have a business, you can either invest in lump sum if you have the ready cash available with you, and also you can invest in periodic intervals. Say I am a salaried person and I want to set aside my certain part of my salary into mutual funds. That I can do through SIP, that is called systematic investment plan. And In case if you're a retired person, you got your retirement proceeds and you have invested in mutual funds and you want a certain part of your retirement proceeds for your regular expenses, then you can withdraw on a regular basis, say quarterly basis or a half yearly basis. That is called the Systematic Withdrawal Plan or SWP. So now, after investing in mutual funds, you need to be familiar with the term NAV. So if somebody has invested in mutual funds, you will be getting an account statement. And in that account statement, you will be having a term called NAV, which is called the net asset value. Net assets value means the assets minus liabilities of the entire mutual fund. Say, for example, you have invested rupees 1 lakh at the rate of 10 rupees NAV. So you would be allotted 10,000 units. And the NAV or your investment appreciates by 2 rupees to 12 rupees, from 10 to 12 rupees. So your investment also appreciates by 20%, that is 1,20,000 rupees. 10,000 units multiplied by the NAV, that is 12 rupees from 10 rupees. Now the last aspect is taxability. As I told you all that most of us ignore the taxability part when it comes to investments. Not only mutual fund investments, whether it is investments in stocks, many of them invest in various tax saving schemes without even having a requirement of it. So it is very important to assess what is your taxability and then decide on your investment. So that is where my role as a chartered accountant comes into picture. In order to understand the taxability, you need to know a term called capital gain. Capital gain is nothing but when you sell your investments, the gain you would have got would be taxed in your hands. So as simple as that. So in order to understand the capital gains, you need to know the holding period of your investments. So in case of equity mutual funds, the holding period, if it is less than 12 months, then it is short-term capital gain. In case of debt mutual funds, if you stay invested or if you do not sell your investments within a period of 36 months, then it is long-term capital gains. That you stay invested for a period more than 36 months, long-term capital gain. If you sell before 36 months, it is short-term capital gains. Why is short-term and long-term capital gain important? Is because to determine the tax rates. In case of an equity mutual funds, short-term capital gains are taxed at the rate of 15%, whereas long-term capital gains are taxed at the rate of 10% only if your investment appreciates or your capital gain is more than rupees 1 lakh. If your long-term capital gain is less than rupees 1 lakh, then it is completely exempt. You need not pay any tax at all. Short-term capital gains in case of debt funds are taxed as per your slab rates. In case if you fall under the 30% bracket, then short-term capital gains from debt funds are also taxed at the rate of 30%. Whereas long-term capital gains from debt funds are taxed at the rate of 20%. In case of balanced funds, if the equity share in the fund is more than 65%, then the tax rates that are applicable for equity funds are applicable for balanced funds as well. So friends, I hope you like this video. In case if you like this video, please share and subscribe. And also, I'm going to make a series of videos on mutual funds which is going to help you out on choosing a particular mutual funds and many other aspects related to mutual funds. So stay tuned and happy investing. Thank you.